to Let's Talk About It with Daisy Gates. I hope you're having an amazing day wherever you may be at listening to this. Now, today I wanted to get into mental health as an educator. It is very important that we talk about this because we as teachers have to understand when you need to put in time to focus on your mental, because you cannot keep going and going and going, then you have a mental breakdown, or you just have a breakdown, period. Okay, so let's get into this subject. Now, before we get into this, I have a video that I just recently posted of explaining a little bit of why I quit my job as a music educator. So I told people that it was time for me to go, even though people wanted me to stay and they really liked me where I was at. But it's just some things that you see over and over that bothers you, that you have no control over. They ask you to express your feelings as educators, but the same thing keeps going on and on and on, and it doesn't make sense. That's why I never wasted my time to go in the office when it was time for the principal who said that he will make time for anybody who has something to say. I don't waste my time, because at the end of the day, it's going to be the same thing. You probably be saying, Daisy, why do you think like that? Because when you're in it and you see it and you see there's no change, then guess what? That means ding, 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 ding. It's not going to work, and they're not listening to you, and they do not care. Now, let me reference when I say people as in some of my coworkers, okay? Some of my coworkers and also some of the students. That's what I mean when I say people. So y'all won't be running, thinking the wrong thing, because when you say stuff, people saying that you said that, you meant to say, no, I said what I said. But anywho, let's get into it. So stress and burnout, that is one. High levels of stress and burnout among teachers can lead to job dissatisfaction and mental health issues. So the reason why, because there's a high demand for so many things, no matter what type of teacher you are. If you're a regular teacher, I say regular teacher as in like math, science, and those kind of things. And also connections teachers, which is, art, the performing arts and other things of that nature. All right. There's a demanding nature of the profession, including heavy workloads. Now, it depends on where you are located, the neighborhood, or the socioeconomic status of that area, lack of resources and administrative pressures, which they focus on. They focus a lot on testing and how making the school look good. So all of this can take a toll on teachers' mental well-being. So over time, this can lead to increased rates of burnout, and ultimately it can result in teachers leaving the profession. So that is one. Another one is low salaries and benefits. Teachers' salaries have been a concern in so many regions in the United States, with some educators facing financial difficulties. Low wages coupled with the challenges and responsibilities of the job can contribute to stress, job dissatisfaction, and even financial strain, which can affect mental health and lead to a lot of other things. Okay, not only low salary and dealing with the pressure of the administrators, but also it can lead to issues in your own home, such as your spouse. One spouse may be frustrated because it is. One spouse may not be working, or whoever. It don't even have to be a spouse, or the people you live with. Another one is the lack of support and resources. So insufficient support and resources for teachers can contribute to mental health struggles. So limited access to professional development, mentorship programs, and opportunities for collaboration and growth can leave teachers feeling isolated and unsupported, negatively impacting their well-being. So I want to reiterate on that mentorship. At this job I was at, they had mentors, but I didn't have I didn't have them. They did not assign me a mentor. So we just made believe that I had one. Everybody helped me in the connections area. That's just that, period. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I've always felt that way coming into being a music educator, because half of the time you the only one there at that school, you and the art teacher. So as I came into the school system, as far as when I graduated from college, from undergrad, from Florida Memorial University, I came straight into having a music teacher job. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And I didn't really have a mentor. So I just did, I did the best I could. Then they sent me over to what it was. I think it was Carol City Elementary. They sent me over to Miss Cat. She helped me out a little bit. She was a great music teacher. I'm not sure if she's still there, but yeah, you feel lonely out here in these streets as a me personally. What I've experienced is lonely out here in these streets as a music educator at times. Okay. Now here is one that a lot of us probably say, this the one right here. Classroom challenges. Dealing with challenging student behavior, managing diverse classrooms, and addressing students' emotional needs can be mentally and emotionally demanding for teachers. So without adequate support and training to manage these challenges, teachers may experience heightened stress levels and difficulties in maintaining their mental health. Teachers, as the saying say, wear a lot of hats. You got to talk to them like you their mama, or not even that. Just talk to them as a mother figure, as an auntie figure, depending on where you at, what's the age, as they big cousin, because some of them got cousins my age, no matter what generation it is you teaching, and things like that. You got to be their counselor, even though the school have counselors, but some of them children didn't never want to talk to the counselors because they feel that they wasn't helping them, or things of that nature. Now, this one here, work-life balance. The teaching profession often requires long hours, including lesson planning, grading, and extracurricular activities. Balancing these demands with personal obligations and self-care can be challenging, leading to work-life balance and potential mental health issues. So, with that being said, when I first got to the school where I was at, I did one night, volunteered for to help the chorus teacher. I just ran the camera there one night because, first of all, I worked an hour away from where I stay, and second of all, I be drained by the time I get home. And plus, I worked in the area where at night, I don't think it's good for people like me to be driving that type of night in that area. You know, the area is changing, but you get what I'm saying. Anywho, so that right there, I see a lot of people, it's like they don't have a life. The principal's got to be there for sometimes until the school closes, until the last student leave. You got basketball games. You got all this stuff. Nope. You got award night this year. Nope. I was part-time anyway. I was just being nice the first year I was there. Anywho, moving along, lack of recognition and respect. I could care less about recognition and respect. I know who I am, and I know what I deliver to my students inside my classroom. A lot of times, people want to be recognized by the principals. I could care less. Teachers play a vital role in society, yet they often feel undervalued and underappreciated. A lack of recognition and respect can negatively impact teachers' morale and overall mental well-being, leading some to leave the profession, which is some of the reason too. But I wasn't really focused on that lack of recognition and respect. But I was, about the respect part, recognition. I don't care. You ain't got to recognize me because I know what I do makes a difference in people's lives, my coworkers' lives, and as well as my students. But the respect, just the, in general, all the schools that I've worked at as a music educator is just some principals whatever, you got to do this regardless because you're a special areas or connections teachers, and I got to get into some things that some coworkers have said to some of my colleagues in the special area connections area, special area down in Florida. I got to get into some stories, honey. But so there's a lot of times, I had coworkers, they was like, we feel like this. Basically I told them I've always felt like a stepchild being a music educator. I'm way in the back, where most of my classrooms always would be way in the back. The Rosa Parks section is what I would call it. Some of y'all like, what? Yep, that's what I call it, the Rosa Parks section. What's that fuss? But I had no problem with that. Out of sight, out of mind. Nobody really ain't want to walk all the way down there to my class. But people would love, like back in Miami when I started, people would love to come in my classroom. It was like, it's just such a peace. You had teachers just would come and just chill in my classroom, and just vent to me for some apparent reason. But okay, so yeah, I'm just rambling right now. But yeah, a lot of them I had some coworkers, like, they don't recognize us. Like when they have the meetings, they would give certain people awards and stuff. Look what this, look. I'm like, man, whatever. I want it. Another one is trauma and vicarious trauma. Vicarious trauma, which means witnessing, the trauma of others. Teachers may encounter students who have experienced trauma or face challenging life circumstances. So the constant exposure to students' trauma, stories, and difficulties can lead to vicarious trauma, where teachers experience emotional distress and symptoms similar to those directly involved in traumatic events. I want to talk about this. I remember back then when back some years when I was a music teacher at this certain school, and then I was going with this particular person, and he was like, well, every time you go home, you always going to sleep, blah, blah, blah. Because, people who know me understand that after work, I'm going to get me in the nap. And I had to explain this to this individual, like, a lot of people think teachers just go, hi class, okay, what we're going to do today is, and that's it. No, we deal with things. I have seen students, when I worked at Liberty City Elementary, I have seen some students who weren't even my students, or just some students in general, go through so much. You'll see a student in the hallway, next thing you know, you hear about them getting shot, or you hear about them getting killed, or selling drugs and things of that nature, which is real. And it's in all neighborhoods and all things like that, what you're dealing with. So we try not to me personally, I try not to classify, because that's what people do. They like to classify a certain race when it's a whole lot of everybody dealing with it. Rich, middle class, poor, all of it. Selling drugs in the school. Elementary, yes. Middle, yes. High school, yes. Selling drugs does not discriminate. Now, this is the last one I'm going to talk about, and then I'm going to move forward. Stigma and self-care neglect. Due to social expectations and professional demands, teachers may feel hesitant to seek help from their mental health issues. Stigma around mental health can discourage them from seeking support, leading to neglect of their own well-being. You better take care of yourself, my beautiful teachers. Take care of yourself. Those who care wholeheartedly, take care of yourself. You got some teachers who don't care, and they don't give a rat's bleep about the students. Okay? Now, with that being said, that's it. Okay. So, addressing the mental health challenges faced by teachers is crucial for tackling the teacher shortage crisis. Let me say that again. Addressing the mental health challenges faced by teachers is crucial for tackling the teacher shortage crisis. So, if anyone is listening, these are some potential solutions. Okay. Now, some of the potential solutions: comprehensive mental health support. I'm not sure if the school if everybody have this at their school now, because times have changed. So schools and educational systems should prioritize mental health support for teachers, including access to counseling services, professional development on self-care and stress management, and promoting a positive and supportive work environment. Now, they said something about a professional development. Now, there are sometimes we will have professional development, and it's just to have a professional development, just to look good on certain things. I'm going to talk about that too, on a lot of stuff too. They be having professional development, and it don't be developing. All right, the next one: competitive salaries and benefits. Improving teacher salaries and benefits can help attract and retain qualified educators. Offering competitive compensation packages can reduce financial stress and increase job satisfaction. satisfaction. Okay. Supportive work environment. This the one here. Supportive work environment. Creating a supportive work environment with effective communication, collaboration, and opportunities for professional growth can enhance teacher well-being and job satisfaction. Now, there are times where certain principals are supportive, but you know what it is? I'm not going to even hold you as my students will say. Sometimes I get it. Some of the principals can't be supportive because guess what? They need support themselves. Okay? They got their hands tied. I get it because I'm neutral on a lot of things, but there are some administrations, some principals, they just don't give a hooty hoot. All right. Now, next, increased resources and training. You need to be providing teachers with the necessary resources, training, and ongoing professional development opportunities, which can equip them with the skills to address classroom challenges effectively and reduce stress levels. So they got this new thing going on. I'm not even going to get into that PBIS points and all of that. Anywho, the next one, work-life balance, implementing policies that promote a healthy work-life balance, such as reasonable work hours, sufficient planning time, and reduced administrative burdens, can contribute to teacher well-being and retention. Last but not least, recognition and appreciation, recognizing and appreciating the hard work and dedication for teachers through regular acknowledgement, support from administrators, and involvement of the broader community can positively impact their moral and job satisfaction. I got to say this of what I've experienced from this last school I was at. It's like the connections department felt like we weren't really supported, felt like we were the bottom, the scum, but they allowed the people to let them feel like that. There are some days I'm like, I'm so sick of them. I'm just done. And I'm gonna get into too. I was part-time and I'm grateful I was part-time. I just was grateful I had a job, period. I ain't complain to God. I said, thank you. But there are times that when I got hired, I was part-time. Then the next year, when he got numbers, he hired me full-time. And then this year at the end of the year before this, he emailed, remember I hired you part-time, and remember I said this, so I'm going to turn you back to part-time. So if the numbers go up, blah, blah, blah. So I come back this last school year, he done hired so many people. He ain't even bother to put me full-time. But was I in my feelings a little bit? A little bit, yeah, a little bit I was. I was like, well, I'm the stepchild again this year. And, I just jokingly say that, but I didn't really care because, you know what I'm saying? I have other income coming in and I'm not, I'm not stressed. Not stressed. I'm not stressed about it. So let's get back on focus. So by prioritizing the mental health and well-being of teachers, educational systems can help address the teacher shortage crisis and create a more sustainable and supportive environment for educators. Y'all realize I was using, those of you who are educators, I use some of those keywords that they use all the time. Well, that is the end of this episode. I want to thank you for listening. You can don't share. Don't share as long as you came to the end to listen to what I had to say. And I appreciate each and every one of you. All right. Have an amazing day, afternoon, or evening. Bye.